At least some members of the General Assembly have education on their minds as well, and that's part of what we're going to talk about with Mark Murphy, the editor of the Providence Business News. The current edition of the newspaper has a pretty lengthy cover story concerning the priorities of the General Assembly. Now, Blake Philippi, the new minority leader in the House, is quoted in your article as saying these test scores we just discussed with the Education Commissioner are abysmal, and because of that, he's not really too pleased with moving forward and expanding the Rhode Island Promise Scholarship Program.
I think he's even beyond that. He may be, saying, let's kill it altogether and let's concentrate on fixing education, K through 12, rather than, I think he said, giving away free college educations.
And that's just one of the many topics that will be discussed. What are some of the others as outlined in the article?
Well, it's interesting. Speaker Nicholas Mattiello of the House says his top priority is continuing the phase out of the car tax, which in and of itself, if you start talking about budget deficits, and this is what the Senate President, Dominic Ruggiero, talks about, there's a structural deficit, and I think he estimates for fiscal 19 and fiscal 20 of $160 million. If you start talking about decreasing income, then the next question is, okay, so what are you going to cut? And that's where Governor Gina Raimondo's plan to expand the Rhode Island Promise program, really to help Rhode Island College. I mean, it is likely that that's really the institution that would be helped the most. That could cost another $35 million. And so you have a little bit of balking. So you have revenue going down, you have potentially expenses going up, and really they don't meet in the middle at all.
How will the makeup of the new General Assembly color the debate on all the major issues? You have more diversity in the elected officials and more, if you will, the extreme word is socialists.
Well, I would say progressives. I mean, that's a socialist might be a little strong, but there's a progressive caucus, just like there is one in the new Congress in Washington. There are a lot of voices that are demanding change, from changing how much power the Speaker of the House has to trying to protect women's rights, because there's a great fear of Roe v. Wade being overturned and the right to abortion being lost. But that's not the only progressive issue that's out there. Minimum wage is another one. Minimum wage in Massachusetts is $12. It's $10.50 in Rhode Island. So there's an argument to be made. If someone can make $12 by driving 15 or 20 minutes, why wouldn't they?
Legalized marijuana is another one of the issues in this category that may see some interesting discussion. And there's a lot more about all of this in the current edition of the Providence Business News headline, "They're back. Will the new General Assembly be the same as the old?" And Mark Murphy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Frank.